Hello and welcome back to Second Chances Farm. We are here in our demo kitchen. I'm Evan Bartle, Chief Growing Officer at Second Chances Farm, and I am here with Bryan Sikora, who owns and operates some of my favorite restaurants here in Delaware, including, but not limited to, La Fia, Pro Bar, Merchant Bar, etc., etc. And today, he is going to be cooking, well, I'll let him tell you what he's going to be cooking, because it sounds awesome.
Fried rice with a little coconut cream, and then we're going to use, make a little stir fry with all of these beautiful, unique greens that we got here today from the farm, fresh cut.
All grown right here at Second Chances Farm, cut less than an hour ago, so very fresh.
But we have these in the early stage, so what we're going to do is start at the foundation of this, which is going to be to break down this chicken first, put the seasoning spice on it, and get a stock going.
It is sort of young versions of things, and we like that because it means you can eat the whole thing. A lot of these vegetables, like you're cutting off stems because they're hard and tough and they're old, and so really you can eat every part of the plant that we grow here.
Sure, and at this stage too, I like a lot because what you've seen trending over the years is more of the micro stage.
Sure. What do you cut? You're cutting the breasts off?
Yeah, I fabricated the breasts off, and I'm gonna put some of the bits in there, like the neck and the gizzards and stuff. You can leave it on high. We're gonna put some cold water in there, and then we'll let that go until it cooks the chicken. And we're gonna also add some basic aromatics to that. Onion, garlic, celery, and in this case I'm gonna add a little ginger because we're going for more of a little exotic profile. Each element that you're preparing, whether it be the chicken part, the rice part, the sauce part, everything should be able to stand on its own. You don't want anything to be there just as a starch or just as, kind of like to fill up the plate. Right. Everything should have its own integrity and its own, have its own intention and purpose.
Right. This is our brand new Spice Duo blend from Second Chances Farm Spices. This is what he's going to be using today is the Kamala Fearless Fusion Spice Blend, which is a mixture sort of a Indian spice and Jamaican jerk, which is based around her Kamala Harris's heritage. Along with it, we'll be selling the Joe No Malarkey blend, which is a salt-free, sodium-free chicken rub. And together, they come together and will be sent out on January 20th, Inauguration Day, when Joe takes the White House.
Go ahead and just liberally shake that on there. Don't be scared. There you go. All right, great. I'm just gonna put some salt. And turn it.
Wow.
And then we'll hit it again, okay?
Oh, got it.
Okay, for the next step, now that we have the chicken broken down, and I should say that I took this one step further. I cut the bone out of the chicken leg.
Why did we do that?
Because I just want this to be one simple sauté dish.
Sure.
So what that means is we're just going to cook it on the stovetop. We don't have to go to the oven with it or anything like that. What we did was measure a cup of jasmine rice.
1 cup.
And we have a little olive oil here. What we're going to do is put enough olive oil in the pot with the rice to coat the rice. Then we're going to heat the pot, and we're going to sauté the rice for just until you feel it kind of sticking together, till it gets like almost like wet sand. And then you're going to add a cup and a half of chicken stock to that.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to sauté the chicken. Not crazy heat, medium-high heat, enough to make a sizzle, but also not too hot that it's going to burn before it's cooked. So we want it to just be an active sizzle. And then what we'll do is we'll measure a cup and a half of chicken stock and just pour that right over. We're also going to add some salt to that early on. Put a lid on it on super low and just let it simmer away until all the moisture's cooked out and the rice is cooked all the way. I'm going to take some garlic and ginger, and I'm just going to chop through that, like a tablespoon of each. We'll base this ratio on a whole can of coconut milk. and we'll get these aromatics going and put a little oil in that pan.
And you're just finely chopping this?
Yeah, I didn't really even finely chop it because we'll end up straining this.
Yeah.
You know, you could do two things. You could strain it or blend it, depending on which way you want to go with it. So we'll just let that get a little aromatic. We're not going to get any color on it. And once again, we're going to use some of that spice. And just dust some of that spice in there now. And what we're going to do is just let that in there in the hot oil for a second to kind of bloom those spices, those dried spices up. And once again, don't be shy. This is because we're going to add coconut milk, which is pretty neutral in flavor. It has a lot of fat to it, and it has a little bit of sweetness. So once you start to smell the perfume of that, then we can come back and we can add a little bit more of our chicken stock to that, which is going to bring a nice richness to it as well. And obviously in the theme of a chicken dish, right?
That smells great with that.
So that'll deglaze a little bit. And you can see it's got the spices already bloomed up a bit. And then we'll just simmer that with this can of coconut milk.
Wow.
And let that cook down. You can see the solids, all that coconut butter in there, if you will. And that's it. We'll let that simmer. Let it reduce by about a half.
So what are we doing next in this great rice extravaganza?
Okay, so you can see our sauce has come along. It's starting to thicken up nicely. It's getting a nice nappe consistency to it. Chicken's cooked. You can see that's come out nice with that seasoning on it. Gone ahead, the rice is finished up here pretty much. And then I've gone ahead and I've got some of the baby greens from the garden. We've got a little scallion here. It's like a little bunch chive scallion, and then some fresh basil. So what I'm gonna do to finish this up, we have a hot wok on here. You have the oil over there, Evan?
Oil.
Let's go ahead and put a little coating in there. And we don't have to cook the chicken again because it's already cooked. So we're kind of isolating our attention on fried rice right now. So what we're gonna do is put the rice in first, because I want to get a glaze on that, so it doesn't just, you know, if we put the vegetables in with it, it'll stick. So we want to maintain the integrity of the rice. One good thing that's nice to do too is, if you have the time and you know you're going to make fried rice, is to actually make it the day before, the rice.
Refrigerate it first.
Uncovered on a sheet tray. Yeah. And then the next step, I'm going to add a little bit of egg to this. And I'm just going to go around the side, so it kind of just involves itself. I don't want to dump it straight in the middle because it'll want to stick in the middle. Right. So we want to spread that out and just let that kind of fry. The final step to this would be to start adding our greens to this so they can sweat down and steam. And they won't take long because, I mean, they're very immature vegetables and won't take long to cook at all. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just start to move this around a little bit. You can see the rice or the egg is cooked a little bit. Now we don't want to stir this vigorously because maintain the separations of the different textures here. The egg, the rice, the vegetable. Right. You know, there's no reason to cook the heck out of this. Okay, so that looks pretty good for me as far as the finished cook on that. So what we can do is do a final plate.
Sure.
And we'll make this kind of like a larger size portion, similar to like what you might serve your family, right? So what we could do is do a little bit of the vegetable along with the rice. And that spice really came out on this. You could really smell the development of the spices and the aroma, both when it was cooking on the chicken as well as in the coconut sauce. And then we'll do some of the herbs on there.
Bunching onions or scallions, sort of a baby scallion.
Yeah, and then just a quick little chiffonade of this nice fresh basil, which is just a little, although it's not summer, it's definitely got that, gives me that vibe. And then
sauce it up.
We can sauce it up how we like, and I think this will finish the dish nicely.
Oh, yeah. It almost looks like a gravy.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. We are finally going to be able to taste this delicious dish from Bryan Sikora, our wonderful local chef. And I have with me here Kevin Mulholm, who is one of our folks here working on the farm. at second chances, and let's see if you can give it a try.
See if I can eat.
See if you can,
Capable
see
of
if you can
eating?
not eat
sure
the
you-
whole thing.
So this is sauteed organic chicken with some of the great greens and other produce from the farm here today.
Right, bok choy, Chinese celery, Chinese broccoli, some bunching onions.
And then we use the Kamala Harris Fearless Fusion Spice for this dish, which we made on the chicken. We put a coating on there, and we also used in a sauce, a coconut-based sauce, coconut milk-based sauce, and then we served that with a nice fried rice, fried jasmine rice.
Awesome.
I'm gonna try and get a little bit of every
Dig in.
part in there.
Might need a knife, pal.
Okay. Whoa, look at that.
That's a big stalk right there.
Yeah, it is. Well, forget it.
Oh man, that's
This is gonna
That's
be,
a big bite.
It's gonna be
ambitious.
ugly.
that is an ambitious bite. Good though. Hope it wasn't too hot. All right, I'm gonna dig in.
Delicious.
Is it?
There's a lot going on there.
Is there?
Yeah, that spice is good.
Yeah, it lingers
Did it leave any? Is it heat? Is it hot?
at the back.
Yeah.
You don't get it at first, but you get it at the end. You get a little bit of that coconut
Cool.
sweetness at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Delicious. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
absolutely. My pleasure.
Liking it?
It was nice to use my brain a little bit today.